is something. It's called Paradise by Pablo. Alright, enough of that. Back to my form of a paradise. That's right here, hanging out with y'all. I wonder if anybody's going to remember I'm coming on today. Let's see. Alright, well, it says it's public. Good enough for me. Howdy, y'all. Tailgating again. Don't know if anybody remembers how to tailgate anymore. It's been a while. So, here in about an hour, Mike from Briar Blues should be coming on. The one and only Mike. The one and only Briar Blues. The one and only sock that I have from the piping artist Steph. You can see her name right there. Her own private tag. Super nice. If you don't have one, you need to get one. Makes a great Christmas present. If you have glasses, you should get two. I will tell you that I don't know if she's got enough time to make anything. If you private order it right now, she might. But I know handmade stuff gets busy. Howdy, Boris. I know it is probably Huva Ilta, or now it's probably good morning for you. Yeah, it's closer to morning for you. Being that it's starting to get dark for me, it's got to be past midnight for you. Ugh. $1:30 there, yeah. Sounds about right. Before too much longer, I'm going to have to turn on that infernal light that's somewhere behind me, and y'all might have to bear with me as I rearrange the whole Red Door studio. Not so much that I'm wanting to rearrange the studio, but if I have the light on behind me, it just makes a large glaring. It's great for being bright, but it's horrible for where it is and what it lights up. And I can't get a good camera angle unless I sit out there in my yard, basically. Heck, as far as it goes, I might as well do it now. Instead of doing it here in the dark here in a minute. Hey, it's a treat. I gotta do myself a favor and not stare at the light. Howdy, y'all. I do have big oak trees in the front yard. I'm allergic to them. Isn't that great? Isn't that just absolutely hunky-dory? So how's life treating you, Boris? Happy you could make it in today. And are you going to be hanging out with me long enough to get to Mike's show, or will you be getting some good sleep before then? In case anybody's interested, it is the fake tin of Mountain Camp that I have refilled with a Sutliff Balkan. And my Savinelli KS320. Oh, that's right. Thursday night football. It's a product I just can't seem to get into. I am keeping track of my team. They're doing okay, surprisingly. Hey, wow, look at there, 4 people in. Make it 5, because Steph and Skip count as 2. Howdy, Steph and Skip. How are y'all doing today? So far, we've got 2 from Texas and 1 from Finland. We're an international group. Well, all right. Oh, wait, that sounds like something from Texas, doesn't it? John Walker. Good to see you today. So John Walker's from the UK. That's a great little place to be right now. Howdy, Skip. Good to see you again. Of course, my false light in my Savinelli always is horrible. I almost have to think about, with the lights on, because it's going to get dark on me before this hour is done. If I don't sit over here, you get this massive glare from the lights. I put in some LED bulbs, and they are massive bright, but they don't hardly use any energy, so I'm really enjoying that fact. So, making sure everybody can see this again. The piping artist stuff makes pipe or glasses socks. Dynamite gift. If you don't have someone to give one to, get one for yourself. You will not be disappointed. I don't know what she charges, but probably not enough. And mine she made out of cigar material and pipe material. Basically, the whole tobacco gambit there. I'm not sure how long they last, but I'm not intent on tearing it up. I am intent on using the heck out of it, though. So yes, I did put in a new viewpoint for this particular episode, mostly because, well, that glare is just ridiculous. Have I seen the show Utopia? Honestly, Steph, I watch very little TV. I found that the Amazon Prime account has something called the Grand Tour, which, if anybody was a fan of the show Top Gear, back when it had the original 3 guys on it, they have now become the Grand Tour. I guess it's season 3, and I can only get that one, but since I found it a week ago, I've gotten through all of 4 episodes. Yeah, I watch a lot of TV. Well, if they last 1,000 years, this will be the last one I will ever have to own. I like all the stitching on it too. It's great. Well, I mean, what's not to love about 3 straight Brits that are basically a better comedy act than anything else that you've ever seen? Unless, of course, you don't speak English, and then it might not quite be so funny. Yeah. So the episode I just finished up yesterday was the second in the 2-parter where they went to Colombia, but they didn't mention cocaine until the very last possible second of the second episode. They danced all around it, but they never said it. And then they did. James May, Captain Slow. Yeah. I think they're all kind of cracking jokes and ragging on each other, but still, the British sense of humor tends to be quite dry. So for us early birds, we get to watch the sky go from bluish gray to eventually probably black by the time Mike comes on. So I've got UK, 6 people in now. Hey, how we doing? Howdy, y'all. Whoever you are, don't be afraid. Tap buttons. It doesn't even have to be good. Hell, if I could spell words, I wouldn't have to say words. But yeah, I don't watch much. Don't watch much television. It tends to be overly depressing, and most of it is without actual reasoning for being as depressing as it is. Let's see, in my cup tonight is water. Mailman just going by. Actually, it's a substitute mailman. Howdy, Chad. Glad you could make it in today. Honestly, no. Spelling for me is not easy. I could type. Man, I could type 500,000 words a minute if all you want is gobbledygook that doesn't make any cognitive reasoning or sense. But if it's actually supposed to spell words, yeah, I've definitely got the problem there with spelling more than with typing. Oh, great. Owls are out already. Fringe. Never heard of it. Closest I got to watching anything recently weird is... Oh, yeah, Netflix. Netflix has a full season of Forged in Fire. I'm pretty good with that show. I'm not even sure what an Underhill is. Poor Steph. You don't have to miss rain. Just go outside and spit into the wind. No, don't. Don't do that. Oh, getting a first snow. I look forward to snow, but I don't. I look forward to it because I've been all over the world and I've seen a lot of snow. Same state, they had snow, I did not. When it snows in Houston, they just shut everything down. Don't go anywhere. You'll actually get arrested for it. And it's not because you don't know how to drive in the snow. It's A, they don't know how to make road surfaces that are safe in the snow, and B, they don't have any equipment to do anything about it. I know how to drive in snow and ice. I got pulled over a few times for being out in snow and ice. When they asked if I knew why I got pulled over, I said it's because I allowed you to. And they looked at me funny, and I told them, look, I've got the vehicle I've got so that I can actually get from A to B in any weather. They couldn't have kept up with me. Rear wheel drive, big V8s, trying to keep up with my little Subaru Legacy. It'd never happened. Sounds like I'm bragging. Nope, not bragging. Don't care. But those big V8 cop cars, they are horrible for snow and ice. Or at least the ones that they have here. Steph, Houston has 4 seasons. There is football season, baseball season, basketball season, and summer. That's 4. Wait a second. What do you mean Star Wars Death Star thing? Yes, I know. It was the Selectric ball. A little ball would spin and everything was on that ball. So if you ever had the ball, even one letter chip, you had to replace the whole ball instead of just one pad. I remember it quite well. Used to repair them. Windy, rainy, hot, and foggy. Yeah. I accept those. Oh, wait. We have 5. There's also love bug season. For those of you who don't know what love bug season is, don't worry. You're not missing anything. You're really not. Steph, I'm going to say that was a lie. Steph has balls. The balls of her feet. I'm in so much trouble for that one. Well, June bug season is kind of the same as baseball season. They come out at about the same time and they stop at about the same time. And if you're on a motorcycle, you hope that they never come out at all. June bug hits you in the neck, you'll think you've been shot. So Chad, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. But I got a question. Has anybody been watching now what's coming up on YouTube tomorrow? I hear there's a certain let's see, albino blonde Canadian that is giving some information about a certain GAW. Now, I'm not going to mention any names. I might mention a number. 860 is in conjunction with it. Might be something people want to look up. What am I getting notifications of? Hey, it's almost 6 o'clock. Woohoo! So I was hoping that I would have some of those sports fans in that from yesterday. They said they'd show back up. Boris is here, though. Boris. I looked up the two guys that you said. One of them is racing for Team Alfa Romeo. And I heard there was talk about him getting with Team Ferrari. Open-wheeled, F1. I think he probably would have done real well in Team Ferrari. Oh, Cane Rod is interviewing the gruesome twosome. All right. Will it be a live interview or will it be an on-the-phone interview? Oh, come on. That's not the perfect name. I was just having fun with y'all. Okay. So, I had heard he was possibly going back to, but turned it down. Well, at least y'all aren't offended by it. If people get offended by anything I've actually said, it's A, they tried very hard to be offended, or B, they don't really know that I joke about most everything. Hey, y'all remember how I said that the sky would turn pretty dark? Well, look at it go, darker and darker. Thus the reason for a brick pillar instead of a brick wall. Yes, I do believe that's something else. I've been canceled before. Just ask Streamlabs. Yeah, so there's the problem with racing as I see it. You have to be planning from race one to retire. But you have to think that you'll be 20 forever. Yeah. There are very few racers that are out there and are still competitive past the age of 40. Now, some are. Don't get me wrong, there are some. But you get past that 40 mark, and older racers are retired hard, fast. They don't give a damn about the fans anymore. They're just like, man, I want a paycheck. I want to make enough money to be able to say I quit and not have to worry about it. Richard Petty's still in racing, but he's not behind the wheel of the car. I did go to the track in Texas. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about, he's the old man. Kimmy is definitely the old man. And I tried to remember what his last name was, but it was like 47 letters long. Not quite. I'm exaggerating there, but I mean, you get like what? John Force, he stayed in it. And I guess he's still in it. But that's drag racing. Maybe that's a different. I mean, hold the wheel straight and have lightning fast reflexes. So, I mean, you know, there's a lot of guys who will prove me wrong, but you never see them all at the same time. Football, same thing. You're not going to see a lot of people past the age of 40 still in the league. When you consider each team has 43 players, 53 players, and there's maybe 18 people that are above the age of 40 that are in the league. Most of those are kickers because they don't get hit very hard very often. Well, punters and kickers. Tom Brady and Drew Brees? Yeah, there's the getting the yips, being scared. But there's also the, man, my body is not healing up like it did when I was 20. And, I mean, I'm living proof of that. It used to be I would open up my eyes and within 30 seconds I was in the shower and halfway done. And now I open up my eyes and I lay there for a little bit and I stretch everything out because everything hurts. A little difference there is, and add an extra 26 years onto that 20-year-old frame. Plus, when I was 18, I was in the Army. Trust me, you learn to wake up in a heartbeat. You let some sergeant come in and grab up a trash can in the first sound you hear is it landing from wherever he launched it, halfway down the barracks. It makes a hell of a racket, and you're going to come completely out of your skin trying to climb invisible ladders to get out of there. Gets to be a habit. Winning is a habit. So is losing. Problem is, when your reflexes don't quite keep you where you feel like you need to be, and the in general wear and tear on your body doesn't seem to ever totally heal. Then they start looking at packing it away, because I'm gonna relate this to an F1 statement that I heard, and I believe it was Schumacher that said it. The amount of G-forces you take going around some of these tracks is 6-7 G's. But it's all one side or the other. And if you don't end up hurting from 6 or 7 G's for 4 or 5 hours, it's because you don't have a bone left in your body. I'm right there with you, Boris. No, I can't say that. There's been plenty of days I felt completely healthy. And then I got out of bed. And then my body said, no, you ain't. If your sons are buying you food and booze and backy, well, you got good... That's good parenting there. That's damn good parenting. I mean, let's see. Tour de France. I think the oldest guy to ever win any stage, not the whole thing, just a stage, was 37. That's insane. You would think bicycling, you could do that. You just can't recover from training. That's the problem. Magpiety, or magpiety. We'll let you decide how it's supposed to be said. I like the name, though. How you doing? Oh, just so that y'all will know, yes, I did bring out a can of wine so that when Mike's show starts, I can enjoy some red wine with him. You're only an alcoholic if you drink alone, so Mike, if you're on here, don't worry, I'm making sure you are not an alcoholic. Well, I'm glad you could join us this evening. Again, now I'm only going to be on here, about 20 minutes more. Might be 25, might be 30. It depends upon when Mike starts his show. But well, Steph, this was less than $3 for a can. It is Cabernet Sauvignon. I guess that's how it's said. It's decent. Is it good? No. No. I call it my cooking wine because very rarely do you ever see a need to have more than a cup of wine for a full recipe. And instead of opening a bottle of wine, I will open a can of wine and away I go. Oh, and just in case you are really looking for it, Specs Total Wine HEB. Yes, I will agree with you. You can get a whole bottle with 5 cups in it for $10. Without a doubt, you definitely can. But I can't drink a whole bottle and still stand up and walk. So that means if I'm going to have wine, I'm going to be throwing a bunch of it out. I also don't have a good place to store it after I open it, other than in my gut. Look up Stanislaw Kowalski. Well, I will give it a shot about looking him up. Look, I can spend $10 a week, or I can spend $3 a week. But if I spend $10 a week, then I'm stuck having to actually drink a bunch of wine. For the most part, I'm not really a big wine person. This is one of those items that you can toss in with a bunch of beer if you're going someplace and you know you've got somebody who's only a wine drinker. Or, like I said, you can use it for cooking. That's what I use it for mostly. But it's not bad. It's drinkable. Is it going to be ever one of those wines that you're going to be going like, oh my God, yes, it's top-notch wine? No. Beer in a can is not considered good beer. Beer in a keg is considered good beer sometimes. I've never seen bourbon in a can. Unless, of course, someone just drank a little bit out of a can and poured bourbon in. Can't help that. I mean, there's stuff that I could use. I feel that if, oh, and here's the other side about can, or wine, or bottle, or however you want to choose. For cooking, if you won't drink it, don't cook with it. You're not going to like the flavors of wine if you cook with it, if you can't stand the wine that you're drinking. Just truth on that. Beer, on the other hand, is actually the opposite. I will cook with a hoppy beer, but I will not drink a very hoppy beer. Of course, depends upon what you're cooking also. Okay, so are you wondering if I can or if it's possible to do? I cannot shotgun a can of wine. Personal. Yes, you actually can shotgun a can of wine. A can of wine can be shotgunned. It's really not more than just about a glass and a half of traditional wine pour size pours. Yeah. So if your frozen turkey just came out of the freezer and into the fridge, remember, it is 1 day per 4 pounds of turkey. And then you have the ability to let it sit for 2 extra days. That's a big turkey, Steph. That is a big, big turkey. Just saying. Okay. So magpie. If you really want that turkey to not be dry, you got to get one of those Cajun injectors and go ahead and put some spices and butter up under the skin and into the meat all over the place. You do that and it won't be dry. Plus, you need to be a little closer to underdone because that oil is going to keep cooking it after you pull it out. So it's like yank that sucker out just a little bit sooner and you'll probably have better results. Howdy, Cliff. Right, the Creole butter injection. Now, one of the things that I will tell you to do if you really, really want to get some good results out of that turkey is if you want to make it yourself, you're going to need to go get real butter. Don't get margarine. Get real butter. And preferably in the stick because it allows you to measure it out so that you, when you pull it into that injector needle, you can really do it. But that, some Tony Chachere's, and a little bit of extra garlic powder. That's all you really need. That's all you really need. You can use a little salt and pepper if you don't want to use Chachere's, just regular salt and pepper, that'd be fine. But you want to put that stuff down in the meat because that stuff, as soon as it hits the hot oil, will start basically boiling and it will flow out throughout the whole sections of meat. Turns great. Just remember, get into the meat, don't go into the carcass. Me, I'm in charge of ham and sides. I don't eat turkey. Only good turkey pours out of a bottle. See, Cliff and I, we share the same tastes. Wow. And then, of course, there's always the added advantage of the fried method with the fact that you can also do a chicken and a duck and a pelican all at the same time. Then it's called a turdelican. It's the only way to get a Louisiana man to eat pelican. You gotta, stuff the pelican with a turkey that's been stuffed with a chicken that's been stuffed with a duck. Deep fry the whole mess. Turdelican. Me, I put the turkey into the oven and tint the hell out of it so that the juices come up and fall right back down. And I've got a little secret rubber tube method that I jam a rubber tube in there down into the dish in such a way that it will actually suck the juices back up, and they'll come back up out the top, and it will continue to baste. The natural properties of fluid dynamics. I got a lot of engineers in the family. Now, I'm going to say this, green bean casserole, if you are not making it fresh all the way from top to bottom, and I mean not even using the Campbell's soup or the French fried onions, then you're missing out. Sweet potato, oh, but I'm not doing pie. Not sweet potato pie, no, thanks. A lot of people like it, I just never really much cared for it. Mashed taters, yep, definitely. Homemade stuffing, yep. Mm-hmm. What? We're all hungry. Well, I'm not hungry. I ate before I came out. I know I was going to be sitting out here for 3, maybe 4 hours. That's right. So how do you candy the yams? Are you talking about just a bunch of brown sugar and maybe some marshmallows on top? Or are you going to add the pineapple bits? I mean, there's a lot of ways to candy a yam. And no Thanksgiving is complete without pecan pie. Pecan pie. Don't call it a pecan. You don't want that kind of pie. Pecan is what you use if you really got to pee. Pecan is what you use if you're really kind of hungry. I'm going to skip the pumpkin pie, but I'm good with the coffee and the pipe. Gravy, 3 different types of cranberry sauce, pecan and pumpkin pie, yeah, whipped carnation with some powdered sugar. I'm not sure who the hell you're whipping with a carnation and powdered sugar, but I'm betting Skip kind of likes the effect. Big puffy flower. Looks like you're going to homecoming. Oh, those are mums. Pretty much the same as a carnation. Mum's the word. Let's see here. Oh, we're stopping that. That app can stop. Let's start looking into YouTube to see when Mike starts his show. Oh, there's a V-Day equals D-Day from Steph and Skip from 2 years ago. I'm always amazed at some of these videos that I never saw before. Let's see. No, it said 2 years ago. Oh, no. That wasn't pre-Skip. Skip's older than you, so therefore it couldn't have been pre-Skip. I'm just saying what the video said. I'm not disagreeing with you, Steph. It said 2 years ago. Skip, just remember, you and Steph have been married longer than my wife and I have been married. But we got you all beat on engagement time. Quite possibly like everybody who's watching, all 10 of y'all put together. I am not going to be Devo. I'm not even in the hair band. Hell, I barely get into the hat band. Speaking of hats, everybody raise your hand if you have a 32-inch head. Picking on Steph here. Steph, a 32-inch circular needle, if you knit back and forth on just those 2 points, is great for making scarves. You can make 2 of them side by side to be the exact equal length using 2 to 4 different yarns. You just need to put something in between, whether it be a washer or a clothespin or whatever, so that you don't accidentally just start knitting into the second piece. But there's nothing wrong with the length of it. It's just going to be really hard to do hats on. You basically would have to pull the little plastic piece out between two stitches, and then you would have to suck that piece around and then back out through two other stitches. I've done it before. It's possible to do, but it's a hassle. Whereas the 16-inch is pretty close to the exact size that you're going to want for a hat. No big deal. It's just that's where. And with knitting, you just got to remember it's going to be stretchy sideways and lengthwise. And mic's on, so we're out. Ladies, gentlemen, y'all have a great evening. As I said, mic's on. Go ahead, jump over there. As always, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care, and I'll see you on Mike's channel here soon.
Hello, Corey. How are you?
See you later.
Welcome in.